Hello again. I hope you had a very good Friday evening and Friday night. Today I'm sharing the fracture attack half and how you want to play breach as an attacker. I already shared the defense part and you can see it in the top right corner right now, and you can watch it right after you watch this video, or you can just watch defense and then come back to this video and watch how you want to play breach on attack. So I'm gonna kick it off with attacking on A. The start of the round, you're here. You start the round with your aftershock. I'm pressing mouse 1 before the round starts, like 2 seconds before the round starts. So as soon as the round starts, I have my aftershock here, and I'm just stunning this line. And it gets basically everybody in here, even people who are holding this, people who are aggressive, people who are a bit more aggressive. Unless if you go all the way back here, you're not stunned. But that's kind of a compromise the way I see it. So you can do this. You can do this line, but it allows a person to stay here. I want them to have the option to be here, but not here. Because if they're in the open, then we have a chance of killing them. When we're pushing, like, let's say 3 people pushing a hole, we are really favored to win this fight. If they're hiding here and we don't see them, then it's a bit more problematic, because maybe they're waiting for a flash. Maybe they have a breach on their own and the breach is gonna flash this, right? So I don't want this person to be here comfortable. That's why I go with this stun line. Like the closest angle they can be is here, and my jet is already, let's say, here. I can always, based on the information I have, I can always have my flash out and ready to flash this. And this flash never flashes your team. Even if they cross here, they're gonna get half flashed. They're not gonna get full flashed, right? So if I know that they fight A aggressively, so I can always have my flash out, flash for my teammates when they're peeking this angle, make sure that this person doesn't have an op. If they have an op, for example, and if it's a chamber, this person is flashed before my team peek this. So they have to run away, and after we cross, then I clear this angle, and they're not gonna maintain this control if they know that 3 of us have already crossed all the way here, and they're not fighting from sand area. Once you take this control, then the same concept about for this aftershock going here applies here, and it's this aftershock that hits upside and downside. So nobody can be holding this. They have to peek, and nobody can be hiding behind this sheet of metal, and they have to run away. You don't need to fight them. They still can escape safely. Your job is done once they've left, once they've cleared these angles. Because after your aftershock, you're ready with your flash, and then you fight them. And basically that's how I would entry the site. If I didn't use my flash here, because I know the enemy is not aggressing, so I would do the same stun, the same aftershock, same flash, peek, and then I have a flash left. I'm sitting here. I have my teammates here. If I didn't have anybody taking dish and drop, I wouldn't be kind of like chill about this area. But I know this is cleared. If I don't know it's cleared, then I'm taking the fight here. If it's not smoked. But anyway, if I know that we have the entire site and even drop, I hold my flash and I just sit here. If I don't hear anything, I'm suspecting the flank, and I'm doing the same thing. I have my flash out and I'm sitting, just waiting for them to make noise. If they don't make any noise at all, then I become suspicious. I take my gun out, I jiggle a bit, because by that time I expect them to be already very close, or they're saving, right? And if they're saving, you either hunt or not. That's a different decision, but yeah. If they're not saving, then you should expect them to be very close. Just walk in and trying to be sneaky. And if you hear them, flash here. Anybody who's running here is flashed. Anybody who's here is flashed. They have to run here. If you didn't use your aftershock, this aftershock is massive. After you flash, after you flash, you do this aftershock, And you know, it's super easy control. If you want to play extremely aggressive for no reason whatsoever, you just want to take fights and you're winning, let's say 11-1 or 11-0 or something, you're just having fun, you can play all the way here, flash this, take a fight here, or even flash this and take a fight here. I have taken fights as an attacker from this area, and believe it or not, you know, because sometimes the enemy stacks a site, right? Because they wanna gamble. They're on an eco or a half buy, or they think they have a good read on where we want to go, but we go somewhere else, right? So maybe you enter a site and it's only one person, you kill that person, your jet dashes in before you even use your flashes or anything, so you don't want to flash your jet, and you realize that nobody's A, right? So you still have 2 flashes and an aftershock. So I've played this a lot, and I'm waiting for noise again because nobody's expecting me to be here. Why would I be here, right? It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, maybe people expect a jet or somebody to play aggressive and then run away, but nobody's expecting the breach to be here waiting with a flash. And even if they do, they have to run, right? Because they have to rotate all the way from B, and they have to defuse the spike. They don't have like eternity. They only have, what, 30 seconds to defuse the spike. So I'm just sitting here. I'm hearing them here or something. As soon as I hear them closer, flash, take a fight, go back, flash, fight, even the stun if it comes back. I can ult here even if I want to, if I know. If, for example, we took the site but we have a man disadvantage and it's they're retaking with in a 4v3, for example, or 4v2, I'm honestly here holding my ult if I have my ult, and I'm waiting for them to cross this area because breach ult kind of throws people a bit, not that much, but if they're here then they can go back and hide. So I'm waiting for them to be a bit more closer, and I'm just ulting right away, right? And taking easy fights. And like a tip for you, after breach ult, if you have a flash, always flash. It's always better to flash after you ult, because you're playing sometimes against cracked players, so are one tapping you even when they're ulted, right? Sometimes they get lucky, but you know, always a flash if you have a flash after you ult. Basically, that's all that I'm gonna say. Pushing as a breach from drop, I wouldn't advise unless if you have to. If you're not being successful pushing a hole and your teammates are saying, hey, let's try dish and drop, right? I wouldn't say no, right? Like, because it's not working for us. Let's say go in a hole, and let's say it's not your fault or it's your fault, right? If it's your fault, then you have to think how you can adapt. If it's not your fault, then what can you do, right? Like, you don't have a lot of time to like sit down and talk with your teammates and like the mistakes that are happening and that kind of stuff. So let's just say you have to do this, or your team wants to do this. So you're just sitting here at the beginning of the round and you have your stun ready. You want to stun this line. So anybody who's playing aggressive here or picking this or playing here, they have to fall back. And you have to remind your teammates that you're not stunning these lines, right? So when they're here, your teammates should expect somebody to be here or should expect somebody to be there. Anyways, you stun this. If somebody's playing close, they're stunned. Your jet dashes in. They get an easy kill. After you stun, you come back. If my teammates haven't cleared this already, I'm aftershocking this. And if I know somebody's there, I flash, pick this person, then with another flash, I can flash this too here, and make sure that this person here is flashed as well. But I'm flashing this most of the time and picking this, and making sure nobody's holding. And then from here, I would decide how to enter the site. But I don't like entering the site from this angle, especially if we don't have anybody in holes. If you have people in holes, then that's a different story. You should expect a smoke here and a smoke here, and then you're just chilling. You're maintaining site control from here. Your teammates are taking the site. If you have saved any utility, then you can aftershock this, and stun this line, or you can even do this, flash this, entry the site.
Flash out.
like this. So these kinds of plays are possible, and these are the plays that I would go for. A ton of other plays can be done, right? Breach has like this line is insane, right? Like the way it goes, the length of it is so good that you can come up with a lot of different plays. For B, again, I like to push from B main, but I'm actually not too opposed of an arcade push. So if I'm starting, I forgot where the attacker start, but I think around here, somewhere around here. So I'm starting with my fault line, and I'm stunning this line. I don't want anybody holding me on this line. So after I stun, flash this, make sure it's all good. Then I aftershock this, and this clears the person in here. So after aftershock, I have two options, right? I can always just and this is a bit tricky because you jump, flash, and then take the rope, or you can just go here. But if you want to do this, maybe you're not used to this, but you can practice it. Jump, flash, take rope, and take a fight here, then take a fight here. If you haven't used your second flash, I would use it here. If you still have a flash for whatever reason, let's say they give you this whole area without you using any flashes, you save your flash for this area. You can aftershock this to make sure nobody's standing here and your teammates are entering from this side, and you're kind of here taking a fight, making sure your teammates are crossing safely and that kind of stuff. If you're pushing from here, I expect the smoke to be here, so yeah, let's say I'm here, flash this, take a fight here, flash this, take a fight here, my teammates are crossing, we are good, I sit here and I'm holding this. I expect the second person with me or the third person, I don't know how many people are with me, but one of my teammates is gonna clear tower from here. If I see nobody, if I see on the minimap nobody went tower, then I would go tower, make sure it's cleared and nobody is here. From this I can go back, watch flank for a few seconds. It's a big map, so I don't expect late flanks, right? So after you plant the spike, I would say you wait on the flank lines, I don't know, 5-6 seconds. After that, it's very unlikely. It still can happen, but I would say anybody who's coming like 10 seconds after you plant and walking, it's gonna be stupid, because by the time they reach the spike, it's probably already over, right? And they want to catch their teammates. They don't want to let their teammates die, and they're still flanking. So if I want to watch the flank, then I don't know, 5-6 seconds, and then if I know that if I don't see anybody, then I can be 90% sure nobody's flanking. Then I can focus on the side with my team, and I have my stun back. Your stun is very good still. If you're playing on the spike, if your teammates is playing there and you're playing here with somebody, and you planted on this ping, so you can always stun this. For B main attack, the way I start is I have my stun line ready, and I like to start here. You can start here, which is a bit safer because you don't risk stunning any of your teammates, but you're late, right? And I don't like being late to take in angles or take in space, because I don't trust my teammates, and that's the simplest kind of way I can put it. I don't trust my teammates to take an easy fight or take any fight and win it, so I want to be there to help them and make the fight even easier for them. So you can start here, stun this. The purpose is to stun the operator or stun the aggressive player who's playing here, and then push with your teammates. I like starting here and warning my team that I'm gonna stun this line, so don't get in the way or you'll be stunned. If they get in the way, that's their problem. But I like stunning this line because it does the same thing. It gets the guy pushing but it also gets the guy who's really pushing fast, right? Like I showed you, sometimes as a team we would push B main. So the previous stun is not gonna get this person here, but this stun is certainly gonna get this person. And if they're peeking, they're just dead. They can't run away. If they're here, they don't have any place to go. They're just dead. After the stun, I'm getting closer, flashing this. It's the same, goes both ways. So you flash up, and you scale up. You're probably already smoked. If you're not smoked, then I'm holding this. If I know that they like playing here, then I aftershock this, and I hold this. Make sure they're not here. And when we're taking the site, you can always just do the simple flash. Or if you want to be safe, you can, like, this is kind of crazy because you can stun in front of the box or behind the box, right? So it depends on the information that you have and how you want to play it, right? If you have your aftershock, if you still have a flash, so you can maybe aftershock behind the box and flash in front of the box. So this person is flashed, this person is aftershock. That's an option. That's something you can do. You can also aftershock this line if you have like a neon or a jet dashing in. So you want to allow them to have an easy fight on this person holding this angle. So what you do is flash, aftershock, and your jet is picking this, and they have a decent fight, and you're already out here trying to make sure nobody is backstabbing your duelist. If you don't do all of this utility and you do different utility and you still have a flash, I would flash here, clear left first, then clear right, go all the way, make sure nobody's here, clear this very carefully, make sure no one is holding, and then go back, play with your teammates, play on your post plant. You can play like I showed you from there, but you can also play post plant from here, and it goes with the same kind of principle. The difference here, it's not a big difference, but it's easier from this side, so you can always stun, ping this, and then you can also aftershock this area, and it gets people who are defusing the spike so they cannot defuse anymore. So if you still have your aftershock, you didn't use it for whatever reason that was, you can always keep it as a diffusal delay kind of utility. If you have a flash and you know it happens, you take the site freely, they just give you the site. You can do this flash here and fight this guy on when they tap the spike. So the flash lands here, they're flashed, or if they're fighting, they're still flashed. The same thing applies here. You can do this flash, the same on the post plant. The stun is easy. So this is always an option. If you have your breach ult, this is an OP ult, because I mean everybody knows this ult because it's just so massive. So you can always have this have your ult ready on this area, and make sure that it gets this side and this side. If your teammates are calling for a different kind of lineup, then you can do it. If you want to do this, you can do this, right? Depending on what the team knows and what the team calls out, right? Maybe your team knows that they like to play maybe two people in towers and only one person here. So you want to kill the tower people, and you have like three teammates here and one person lurking from B main, right? So you can do this ult. But in general, like, this is the ult that gets basically the whole site. It doesn't get this far, and it doesn't get the people who are aggressing here. But you can solve that by some flashes. They're a bit weird, they're a bit hard, but you can do them. You can flash here for your teammates, or you can flash the ground, which is kind of insane, right? But this flash is not very good, because if I'm here and I'm holding this, the flash pops here, I get half flashed only, so I don't get full flashed. But you know, you can't do everything on your own, so your teammates need to be aware. You just tell your teammates that This
Right
is
there.
a weakness, right? When we're picking this, expect somebody
Careful
to
there.
be here, right? That's something that you need to warn your teammates about. But yeah, this ult is massive.
Ready.
If you have a fade on your team, there was a time when fade released that a lot of fade was being played, or if you have a killjoy, you know, your killjoy
Right
ult's here, and you hold your ult and you look this way, because the killjoy area kind of goes all the way to here, or maybe
Right
even
there.
a bit deeper. So they have to play deep in their spawn.
Careful there.
So you can just hold your ult like this and wait for killjoy ult to expire, and there are gonna be at least 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe all 5 are gonna be
Careful
in this
there.
area. And you already told your team about the play, and you already discussed what you're gonna do. So you have 3
Right
or
there.
4 of your teammates here. You know what? This is a better line. I was just thinking about this. So you can just play on this line. Your teammates are
there.
already here, ready to fight. You ult
My
this.
ult's ready.
Everybody here is actually screwed. And I think I've never done this, but I think you can flash this, which is
Blinding.
it's insane.
there.
It goes here. You can follow it by a flash as well. Make sure your teammates have the easiest fights of their lives, right? And that's gonna be a very, very nice strategically won round. Because this breach ult is so common, everybody expects it. So when you have your ult, I don't know, I feel like everybody knows you're gonna ult here. So I like to kind of play it a bit with more variety, right? Sometimes I like to ult from here because I wanna be with my team and I wanna be fast. I don't wanna wait because they hear your footsteps. I don't want to wait for them. I don't want to wait like 3-4 seconds. Then if I'm not running, then it's very awkward. It takes a lot of time, and maybe somebody's fighting from B main. We lose one guy before we entry. I don't like these scenarios. So sometimes I just like to go in, just go with my team, flash, take a fight. I can play a bit more aggressive, and this is a different kind of ult that you can do. The same goes for A. I don't like to always ult B because I don't like giving the enemy team kind of a simple tell, right? A simple tell, I mean like something that every time I have a breach ult they expect me to go B. That's kind of stupid, right? So I don't like to give them that kind of a tell. So sometimes you want to ult A, and this ult is very good. You're ulting from a very safe area. You get the full side. You can even, if you want, you can just ult this side. But this is good. You can go this way.
Ready.
And speaking on ulting A, let's get to A attack. A main. And I forgot one part, which is this part, right? So it's always also, if the enemy team has a breach, I expect the breach to be
Right
here.
there.
And I have to be honest, I expect the breach to be exactly here by the time I open the door. And I always open the door. Just kind of crazy, but I kind of like to breach the enemy breach. It doesn't always happen, right? Like I'm not like the best player in the world or anything. But I expect the breach to
Right
be here.
there.
Or somewhere
Right there.
around here, but more
Careful
more
there.
often than not, they're just crouched here and flashed. So when I'm pushing A, I do this, and I have my flash ready.
Flash out.
I do this, and it's so fast.
Tremor. Blinding.
It's so fast that a lot of breach players are not prepared for this, and they're like sitting here. You know, they start the round stunning here, and they drop or they stay up. But a lot of them drop, and I expect by the time I'm here, I expect this person here, that pick here, and when I'm pushing here, I'm asking for a
there.
smoke here. And I have my second flash right here. By the time I am
Right
here,
there.
sometimes I just honestly I just go alone because I know that the utility I use is so oppressive that nobody's gonna be able to fight me. I can even
Flash out.
I did this a lot of the time as well. This is wrong.
Stick.
So this makes sure nobody's hiding in the smoke, waiting to get a timing on me. And then flash. And then I get a free fight here or an easy fight. This is
there.
smoked or this is smoked depending on where we're stacking and where we're pushing from. And my teammates are, by the time I'm here, my teammates are
there.
already here. People who are on the site are screwed because they're open to a lot of different areas. If we have
there.
people here and people in main, and then I'm sitting here, these people are dead. I'm actually not even concerned with them. My presence is enough to scare them away or scare them and make sure that they lose the fights. And I'm holding this. If I still have a flash for whatever reason, if I didn't push here, I have a flash here, and this works so much. I love this play. Okay, let me do this again because this is something that I've done a long time ago and it always works. You enter, but instead of pushing A main, you go like 5 stack, all of your team. You go in here, you flash this, you ask your team to smoke this and this.
Right there.
Or just smoke
there.
this, doesn't matter. Smoke something that's between those two, but preferably this one. If they can smoke two, that's fine as well. Anyways, you flash this, you open the door, you're running in. You don't even care, right? Flash, run knife out, flash, jump, take a fight. Or if your teammates are with you, wait for them to take the ropes and flash for them. Or do this. I get a kill here maybe 6 or 7 times out of 10. I get this kill here. Nobody expects me to be here. It's so crazy. Sometimes people are playing passively, so they hide. But at this point when I'm here, I'm honestly so ready for it. I've done it so many times. I'm so ready for this. I have a stun, I have an aftershock ready, and I expect somebody to be here. If nobody's here, then I'm continuing. If I have a flash left, I go this flash. If I don't have any flash, then you know I've done my job. And honestly, just go all the way B. Just go all the way B. Just make sure somebody's watching your back, and continue all the way B. And it works. It doesn't make sense, but it works. And this play is actually nasty. I love doing it, and I can't wait for for Fracture to come back into the map pool to just do it again and see people's reactions to it. And basically that's kind of like about it, I would say, for Breach on Fracture. There's a lot you can do. The whole map is basically designed for Breach. Look at how many angles.
Right there.
You can flash, you can aftershock. All of these small choke points are designed specifically to fit Breach fault line, and it's just a good Breach map. You can do so much. You can probably do a lot that I haven't thought about by this point. Maybe I've done it 1 or 2 times and I don't remember it as a set play or something. But yeah, that's kind of it. And I hope that you are intrigued, and if you're playing Initiator, you want to try Breach. You haven't played Breach on this map, or maybe you have, but not a lot. Maybe not as much as I have. I hope that I gave you good ideas to practice. I suggest you practice them before the map pool updates. This should be in patch 10, which I expect is episode 10. So there's still some time. You can just hop on a custom game, maybe with some of your friends. Just practice a bit of this utility, and just make sure that you've got all of the different tactics kind of nailed down. With that said, I hope your weekend is going very well. And if you have any ideas, please let me know. I'll continue making some of these videos and sharing them with the coming days, and I hope that you will come back and watch, and we will learn something new. After Breach, I want to do some Sova, and I also want to share some other agents that I have a lot of hours on, and I have played a lot, basically, that I have come up with kind of my own way of playing those. I'll see you in the next one.